Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with your host Erica Boisvert. And today I'm joined by Jessica Frasier. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Jessica owns Hope Again Counseling.
Yes.
New to Waco.
Brand new.
Super exciting. So welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you about this. So tell me a little bit about your story. Like, what brought you to Waco is, I think, the biggest question we get. Like, why Waco?
Good question. Good question. And such a long story or short
Oh, no.
story. I guess depends on.
However you want to tell it is fine.
So I grew up in DFW.
Okay.
We're getting closer to home. Came from Houston. So instead of 5 hours away, we're only 2 hours
So you're just
away.
like scooting close.
Yeah,
Okay,
getting
scooting
closer,
back up.
getting closer. But I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old
Aw,
daughters.
Sweet.
Yes, and we have been considering what we're going to do for school for a while now.
Sure.
So I've been in the public school world professionally for 14 years.
Wow.
But
Okay.
my 6-year-old has been in a private school,
Okay.
private Christian school since pre-K 3.
Aw.
And so just lots of figuring out what we're going to do with their education, and found Valor School here.
Yep.
And after lots of research and touring a few schools, fell in love and totally uprooted our lives for this school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that, I was like, that is a big shift for a
Mhm.
school, but ultimate dedication to your kids and family and
Yeah.
making sure they're being poured into the way you want them
Yes.
to be, right?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. So scary.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Starting over,
Mhm.
and hopefully we're not crazy.
No.
Hopefully we are trusting God appropriately in this, and we are here, and we heard the words, like, my husband it's worked out for his career. And
Good.
so for my career, here I am starting over and rebuilding,
Yes.
which is scary when nobody knows you.
Sure.
You know? Right. Like
It is
it's
an extra little hill.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I totally get it. I probably wouldn't go to somebody I'd have never heard of either. So
Yeah. I mean, I think it just depends because you at least have longevity behind you. It's not
True.
like you're brand new,
True.
right? So you know
True.
what you're doing and you've been in
Yes.
practice and you know how to do what you do. So tell us Hope Again Counseling. What
Yeah.
do you do?
So I am primarily a grief therapist.
Mhm.
Grief is my passion. I say grievers are my people, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, I love walking that journey with people, which
Okay.
may sound a little morbid to some, but it's because it's hard. It's hard, and it's scary, and it's painful, and it's all of the things.
Yeah.
But it's also beautiful, and
Okay.
the process of it and the healing that occurs, and when people learn how to live with their grief in a healthy way. It's just, I love doing that with people. So that is my primary.
I love that you say live with their grief in a
Yeah.
healthy way instead of
Get
helping
over it.
them get past their grief, right? Because that's where the focus tends to be always like, how do we get you past this? How do we move? You don't. I
No.
mean, there are certain things that you just will never let go of.
Right. And why would you? I mean,
Right.
that doesn't make sense to me.
No. Mm-mm.
And grief isn't just about death.
Right.
So it's about moving. My kids have been
Oh, yeah.
experiencing lots of grief in
I'll
this move,
bet.
missing their friends and missing their caretakers and missing all the things. So
Okay.
totally in that realm too, right?
Mhm.
Like, walking my kids through some grief has been an
Aw.
interesting experience because I've been trying not to relive all the myths we've been taught about grief, about just get over it or move
Oh,
on or don't feel your feelings.
You're going to meet new friends. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Don't just dismiss those
Right.
people you love.
So I'm trying
right?
really hard not to do that because I
Yeah.
teach my clients all the time, your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
And feel them, experience them.
Aw.
And so I have to remind myself, I have to do that as a mom too.
Right? Because
Don't
like
dismiss
knee
it.
jerk is like, you'll be fine.
Yes.
This
right.
will pass.
Yes.
But you've got to back it up, slow it down.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun to have to. I kind of equate it to like our job. We walk people through a big moving process,
Mhm.
but it's been a while since we've had to pack boxes. And then when you do put yourself in that moment again, you're like, oh yeah, this does suck.
It's hard.
Or like when your kid skins their knee and you're like, it's really, come on, it's just a skinned knee. But then you skin your knee and you're like, oh my gosh, this is super painful. I forgot.
I had an ear infection 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
See?
Brutal. Woke me out of sleep
Aw.
at 2 a.m.
The pain.
The pain. It was sharp pain. And I have had
Ugh.
an ear infection since I was a kid. And
Sure.
so I would not have even remembered or empathized with my kids at all had I not experienced that
See?
because it's awful.
It is. Yeah. And you don't remember, even if you were, as a baby having them all the time, you don't remember that.
No.
There's no memory.
So if you have kids, right?
Yes, 4.
Okay. So when they have an ear infection, empathize. It's bad.
It is. It is bad. Mine are grown up and they better vocalize for me. But yeah. So wow. So getting replanted. How is that? Like, I'm sure you have a plan for it. Are you kind of doing family first and then professional, or are you just loading yourself up and doing it all at the same time?
All the things. So
All
we
the things.
we moved here Memorial Day weekend.
Whew, okay.
Right after all the rain y'all had.
Yes.
I get to say y'all because I wasn't here yet for that. But so lots and lots of rain and we moved in and we had a beautiful July. Oh my goodness.
We did. It was deceptive. It was gorgeous.
It was deceptive.
It was
My
so
neighbor
nice.
was like, your yard will never look like this in July normally.
No.
Like, oh, okay. Okay.
It will be brown next year.
It will be brown and
Yeah.
crunchy.
And crunchy.
And the cracks will be deep.
Oh, so deep. But it comes back.
Yes, it does.
That's funny.
So a little bit of both. We've
Okay.
really started to get connected with the community at the girls' school.
Yes.
And had some summertime play dates.
Fun.
I had my office right away. And so I
Okay.
started decorating and buying furniture for my office. I left everything in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And so started over there. And so have been here. And yeah, doing both.
Wow.
That's a
You're just
very
like
vague
jumping
answer.
right in.
Yes.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So to do that, I'm hosting an event.
Yes.
So one of the ways prior to being here, I was in the schools too. So
Right.
I was a crisis social emotional counselor in the school district that we lived in. Plus I had a private practice. And so being in the schools came instant recognition.
Okay.
Like people knew my name.
Yes.
They background checked you already. You're
Right.
trustworthy.
Right. And
All
I
of
was going
those
to say
things.
instant trust,
Instant
instant
trust.
recognition. Okay.
Yes. And instant referrals because, I know Jessica. Go see her. She's trustworthy. And so here there isn't that, which I knew that coming
Right.
into it. And I follow this therapist and she's in Michigan and I love her. She truly has a heart for helping other therapists grow.
Nice.
And she hosted a launch party whenever she went from Megan Gunnell to Thriving Well Institute. So she was just a private practice owner, just used her name. And she's like, I need a brand, created a brand through a party.
Nice.
And I was like, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. I'm doing
Fun.
that.
And now when is that? Because it's coming
September
up. September
8th.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have vendors and there's lots of local vendors. Granddaddy Willow, Color Streets,
Fun.
Magnetic Pain Stopper, like lots of local people are going to be there. And then I have some speakers, some local speakers and some people from DFW who are coming down for me. And my hope is that people come and get to shop and have fun and mingle, but then also hear a message that they weren't expecting to hear and leave inspired.
Good. Okay.
That's my plan. That's my dream for this event. So for me, hope is the belief that what I want to happen is possible and it can come true. And I have the ability to make that happen.
Okay.
So that's kind of hope is this idea of it's a journey of getting to the end goal. So the tagline of my company is where the light at the end of the tunnel gets brighter each day.
Okay.
And I believe that it's a journey. And if you have hope, you can get through that journey and get to the end and get to whatever it is that you desire.
Oh,
and so all of the talks are totally different. Some are financial, some are about health and wellness, some are about just being who you are meant to be. And so no matter what it is that you are looking for or not looking for, at least one of the talks are going to speak to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you have, well, Nicole, is she coming on for health and wellness, or is she coming on for, okay.
Yes.
I was like, she could also speak about, being who you're meant to be. That would be, I could see her handling both sides. Very fun. So yes, local speakers, DFW speakers, a whole launch party. What a great idea.
Well, I hope so.
I think it will be.
We'll find out.
Yeah. How's the reaction to it been so far? Have you had a good response?
Slow. It's
okay.
been so people are sharing, like this Nicole is sharing, of course. And so I think the people that are local here who are sharing, there's some instant trust there, right? And so I'm hoping that people will come. It's at the Pavilion in Woodway at the Arboretum. And it's on a Sunday after church. So I'm hoping people just like leave church and don't want to go home. And
there you go.
Let's go shop. And
we'll go hang out and check this out and
have fun.
And hear some good information and great inspirational talks. I like listening to Nicole a lot. There's another speaker on your panel that I was like, wait, I recognize that
Jennifer Eichenhorst, maybe. She's another local one.
Maybe.
And I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right, so forgive me.
No, I love that. And I love that you're already incorporating local.
Yes.
Because Waco's very loyal to local.
Yes.
Have you found that?
So what I have found about being here is it is very family friendly.
Yes.
And if you go for it, you're embraced, which I think is super cool because it can be very scary starting over. And prior to kids, I was like, let's go. I mean, I lived in Odessa for a while and I lived all over DFW. And so no issue moving. But now when you have littles, it's like, you want to go somewhere where they feel at home, where they feel seen, where they can make friends. And so instantly I found Women of Waco.
Yes.
Nicole actually introduced me to Women of Waco. And then I found Jenny, who has like a quarterly or every 6 week, she's a realtor in the area, meetup. And so I went to one of her meetups.
Good.
And there were just random women who are at different stages in life who embrace you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And truly encouraged me. Like, you were in a great place. Your family is in a great place. This was not a poor choice. Like, this was not made out of vain. Right. And so just hearing those things from complete strangers has been validating.
Good.
Yeah.
And encouraging.
Yes.
It must be helpful to hear people say, yep, no, you made a good choice.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I think it speaks volumes to the type of people that do gravitate toward Waco. There is a lot of, people who are focused on God and letting him take the reins, and people who are growing families, and a lot of Baylor families, and, everybody kind of works together toward a common good.
Right.
Right. And I think people are just super welcoming.
It's been that way so far.
Right. I mean,
as long as you put yourself out there, I think so I have been intentional about it. Right. But I am not staying at my house, which I would love to do. Like, we got a few acres. We have chickens. I'm already working on the garden. I personally would love to just be at home.
Sure.
But I know that's not going to be beneficial for my kids' social life or for me professionally.
Yeah. You're not going to grow your business if you're feeding your chickens out back. No. That's fair.
Not at all. My husband grows microgreens and I make vanilla. And so I thought, well, I could just do that. I could do like a vlog and I'm awful at that. I'm awful at staying on top of the social media piece
Oh my
of it.
gosh. Yes.
I created a Facebook group with our company page and I think I've posted on it 4 times. Like, it's just consistency is.
It's a full-time job, social media. It is a full-time job on top of your extra full-time job being an entrepreneur, right? Because that never ends. Okay. So I know you mentioned grief, and not just as it relates to death. Do you also see, patients who have become empty nesters or go through divorces or, grieving processes around other unexpected places?
And so I don't just do grief, but that is my that's my bread and butter. Like that is where I thrive.
Okay.
But I also tell people that I see for anxiety and depression because lots of times unresolved grief shows up as anxiety or depression.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so that is the lens with which I work. So I tell people I'm viewing this through a grief lens. If it's not grief, it's not grief. I'm not going to force that on you. Right. But that's where I always start.
Kind of like, have you thought that maybe? Okay.
And then from there we go. And so grief can stem from your dog running away when you were 5, right? And then not dealing with that, and more losses happen. Your boyfriend breaking up with you when you're 16, and then, you know, all of these things. And when you don't deal with them, then eventually your body says you have to deal with it. And so sometimes that shows up as anxiety. Okay. Sometimes that shows up as ulcers in your mouth. Sometimes it shows up as jaw pain. Like your body says, you've been ignoring this for however long. Now I'm going to make you deal with it. So I always look at it like that. And then if it's not that, it's not that. If it's truly like a situational issue for depression, or if it's truly social anxiety or test anxiety or what, and there's no grief attached to it, okay. I'm not gonna
Okay.
make that.
Let's work on that then from this position. Sure.
But then I also love incorporating the Bible when people want to. So it's not forced, but I've done retreats for women, wellness retreats, and I believe that our bodies are created perfectly and we screw them up.
That is very fair.
So if we know that, then we can get back to a place of wellness, and then you don't need me. You don't need other people. Like you, if you learn how to treat your body the way God intended, then you can be well. And what's beautiful about this is even if you aren't religious, we can take out the way God intended, and there's still some biological truths. So, we are born crying. Why do we cry? Because we need to be fed, because we need a diaper change, because we need a suction nose so we can breathe. But then when we still cry after that, it's because we need connection. That's a biological need that doesn't change whenever you turn 5 or 15 or 20. Like we need that. That's biological. It's biblically sound too, but it's biological too. Right. And so I love walking that with people. Like if you take care of your body, if you eat whole food as often as possible, right? Like I'm not a stickler by any means, but if you eat food in its natural form, if you move your body the way it's intended to be moved. Have you heard of the blue zones?
No.
So look it up.
What is
the
this?
Blue zones. The blue zones are the areas in the world where people live to be centenarians without chronic disease. So 100 or older without chronic disease.
Without anything, no cancer coming in, no. Oh, wow. Right. Okay.
And so there's so many things that's true about that. Like they all move their body the way it's intended to be moved. They garden, they walk, they don't drive. They eat real food. They don't eat processed food. They are in community with each other.
I was just going to ask, like, are they like generational families living together and things like that?
They feel like they have a sense of purpose.
Okay.
Almost all of them have a religious piece too, where they belong to a religious organization. Okay. And that just brings in the sense of peace and community.
Sure.
And purpose. And so I teach people about that. Like if you learn how to move your body, if you learn how to be in community, because as Westerners, we feel like we have to, that bootstrap mentality.
Sure.
Like, I don't need anybody.
Yes.
I don't need any help.
I'm a
strong, independent woman, whatever. Okay, good for you. But also we're supposed to have community.
Yeah.
We're supposed to
You do need some connection. Yeah. Right. You need to find your people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's biological. It's biblically sound. It's all of the things. And so I've done a few retreats teaching people about that. And I think, gosh, if everybody just did that, if we learned how to be well, we could be physically and mentally well because they're not disconnected, right? They are intricately connected. And if we learn how to treat our physical self well, our mental health will benefit and vice versa.
Wow. So you have like a whole body approach. I like that.
Yes.
Because sometimes, therapists don't.
Right.
It's all talk therapy. It's all just that and no, hey, are you getting your fruits of, that is very important and scientifically backed.
Sure.
Have
you had blood work recently? Let's look at it.
How are your hormone levels?
Yep.
How are, 100%. Sugar, iron, all the things.
Magnesium.
Everybody's low in vitamin D. Like there's all the things, right? Which is just go get some sunshine.
Yes. Go get some sunshine.
Oh, I love that.
Go get in the garden. So there's microbes in soil that have the same chemical properties as antidepressants.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Go garden.
It's amazing, but also believable. I am not a gardener. I will kill cactus. And I've said that several times and I wish it was a joke. But I will still like just working with my mom is a gardener. My mom, she grows, if you can eat it, she's growing it and also her herbs to season it. So it missed me. But I do know that getting out there and working in the dirt is just very centering. Mm-hmm. Or even if this is gross, but even if I'm cleaning up after our, horses and cattle, it is just being on the land and working in that way is it just calms my soul. Yeah. Right. So it's a great way to start the day. It's not the most fun way to start the day. True. But it grounds me. Right. Right.
Yeah. True mindfulness, right? So mindfulness defined is being aware, being in the present moment without judgment. So not analyzing what's happening right now, just being present, being here. So when you're taking care of the animals, when you're cleaning out the stalls, that is the only thing you are doing, right? You're not worrying about what's for dinner. You're not worrying about what happened last week when you're in the moment. Right. When you're actually engaged in it, that is mindfulness. Just being there in the present, and it is grounding. That's why there's so much research behind it, because it works and it's healthy and it's appropriate. And we used to do that naturally.
Right. I think that's where, like you said, nowadays it's all about, what do I have to do next? Where am I going next? What's next? And nobody's really focused on, okay, but are you enjoying this moment? Yeah. Okay. That's very cool. I love that you're taking that whole approach. And have you found that to be positive in like getting to the outcome you're trying to help your clients, goals?
Sure. So positive, yes. If somebody's receptive to it.
Fair. I mean, yeah. If somebody's closed off and not taking it in, then it's not going to work.
Right. So we live in a fix-it-fast society.
Give me a pill.
Go to Amazon, get it next day. Yeah. Whatever. Mm-hmm. And so these things take practice and they take work. And we did not get to where we are overnight. And so we're not going to fix it overnight. Mm-hmm. If you want to maintain it. If you want a pill and you want to feel better tomorrow, do that. But it's not going to last.
Right.
And it's going to probably cause lots of side effects.
It's just a Band-Aid.
Totally a Band-Aid.
You're just getting that fake dopamine or serotonin for a minute, right?
And how sad, because our body can do that for us.
On its own. Have you ever just pet your dog and looked in their eyes? That can release like all the feel-good hormones. Yeah, all the good things. So, I love that. So where is your office? You mentioned you have one already?
So my office is off of Bosque and 6 by Craft Gallery.
Okay.
Pretty easy to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's just right there.
Yeah. Okay.
So
when I was office shopping, I was like, I don't know. Is this a safe place? Do people come here? And people said yes.
Yeah, they do. And you're just right off Highway 6. You're right near 84. 35's not that far. So, that's great.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty easy for me to get to. So straight down Bosque or right off of 6, depending.
Super easy. Yeah. Okay.
And real close to the Arboretum where the
event is. Yes.
Yeah, like 3 minutes from that.
So if people want to connect with you, what's the best way to reach out?
Hope Again Counseling is my website. HopeAgainCounseling.com. So that's where you would learn everything you would want to know about a therapist before you call them. Okay. I think that's a really good place to start. Like, does she align with me? Is this going to be a good fit? And then you can call me, or you can always find me on Facebook. I'm not going to talk about clinical things on Facebook for confidentiality reasons, but I have a Facebook page, hopeagaincounseling.com, where it has all of the information about the event. But then also that's where I share whenever I am doing a retreat or any tidbits of information that I think are helpful to share with the community. Okay. And so on Facebook and Instagram, have my website. Okay. You can call me. It's
very easy to get in touch with you.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although my account's been suspended on Google.
What?
Because I changed my address. And
then they need to verify.
Yeah, they flagged it for deceptive content. I was like, all I did was change my address.
Moved. People do that.
I've been waiting for 3 weeks and they still haven't approved it. So if you search therapist near me, I'm not going to show up.
Yet. Okay.
Come
on. Google.
Or Jessica Frasier. When I search Jessica Frasier, there's it's all me.
Okay, there you go.
So hopefully I'm easy to find.
Perfect. And we'll have all that in the show notes for today as well. So people can just click the hyperlink and get right to you.
Nice.
And then, so are you taking on clients, obviously?
Yes, taking on clients. So because we moved here for Valor, my kids are doing school at home 2 days a week.
Okay.
And so I'm not seeing clients on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then pretty flexible times right now. So if somebody needs an after school time, 12 and up is what I see.
Okay.
I really love the littles too. My office just isn't set up for that.
Fair.
And so that would just be torture for a little.
Aw.
Yeah, and that's not fair. I was an elementary counselor for a while before I moved to high school and before I started my private practice. And so it would not be conducive for littles. But the parents, I would be happy to see.
Sure.
And like I said, 12 and up. And I love really, people say, what's your niche? What is it? And outside of grief, I'll tell you that I really do very well with traumatic loss.
Okay.
So suicide, homicide, car accidents, things of that nature.
So jarring, unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or really, really fast cancer diagnoses, like
okay.
found out and no time to process and they were gone.
Yeah.
And I don't want to end this show on this note, but like this is, it's hard to find somebody that you would feel safe to do that with.
Okay.
And based on my history and my personal journey, that's why I thrive in that world.
Okay.
And so, and I'm not shy about that. Right?
Okay.
I let people know, like, I have a story too. Therapy is not about my story, but just know that I have a story too. And I am with you. Like, I am feeling it with you. It's not fake empathy. It's real.
Like, yeah.
And so all grief, but really if somebody's struggling with that, it's really hard to find somebody who feels safe to go to those stigmatized losses.
I love that because trauma counselors in general are very hard to find.
Yeah.
And so trauma grief, that's an amazing specialty. It is just very hard to find people who can really do that and walk the walk with people. So I love that you pointed that out. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And I think that, and then people who are like, well, every loss is traumatic. Yes, but some are so unexpected and change your life plan in a, I get it. Like it's just a little bit more.
So all grief is unique.
It's all,
unique and individual. But the problem is some grief is socially acceptable.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Right?
Oh, what a good way to put it. This is why you do what you do.
That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
And other grief isn't. And when it's not, then how do I grieve? Because I'm not allowed to. Or incarceration, for example.
Okay.
If somebody I love is in jail, I still love that person.
Yes.
But people will say, why are you sad? They did something wrong. They just did something awful.
They deserved it.
They deserved it. Okay. And maybe that's intellectually true, but emotionally, they were my person.
Right.
And they're gone.
And now you don't have that person
that's
anymore.
Grief, and that is valid and worthy of grief.
Oh,
and so definitely stigmatized losses where if you don't feel safe grieving in public, I get it. Yeah.
That's very cool. Okay. And you know what we talked about on the phone that I think maybe would be helpful for listeners is kind of to handle or not handle because you never handle people, but how to help friends and family who are grieving. Like, do you have suggestions? Because we all we just want to be like, I'm here for you. What do you need? How can I help? And we don't realize we're piling on to their to-do list in a moment when they need to not.
Right.
So what suggestions do you have for that?
So the first thing I always tell people is don't try to fix somebody else's grief. You can't fix it.
No. Fair.
Nothing you can say. No matter what you say. It does not bring the person back. It does not fix the situation. It does not bring the house back, whatever the loss was. Does not bring the goldfish back. Like, there's nothing you can do to fix it.
No.
All you can do is be present. And I think the best thing you can do for people is to be honest. There's nothing I can do to fix this, but I am here with you. And I want to hear. I want to hear about your loved one. Share a story with me. Tell me something that I've never heard before. Or tell me something funny. Or tell me something, whatever. Like, I want to know something that is special to you that I don't know.
And that feels counterintuitive. And I've read about this. So it's something that I try to practice when, tell me your favorite story about your dad or tell me. But it feels like you're picking at a wound.
Right. Because I don't want to make them sad.
Right. Well, they're already sad.
They're sad.
They are living that life right now.
And being able to talk about them keeps them alive in a really sweet way. And yes, it hurts.
Yeah.
Yes, it's sad, but they're sad already. Yeah. So let them be sad with you because we're supposed to do life in community.
Okay.
We are meant to do that. We are told biblically, carry each other's burdens.
Yeah.
Right? We're supposed to do that. And it doesn't have to feel comfortable for you. You're not the griever.
Right. This isn't about you.
It's not about you.
It's about helping your friend or loved one.
But then what you talked about when we were talking on the phone, the grief groceries.
Oh, yeah. That's like my favorite. I love that.
Yes.
Because it also, as the person who's trying to be helpful. Like I am a doer. I'm a fixer. I want to make somebody feel better, but you can't. But maybe you can give them some chocolate and some frozen pizza that they have if they need it.
Right.
Some comfort food.
Yeah.
I ran it by you because I was like, well, is that really helpful? Because I don't know.
Yes, I love it. And
It's
I'll
fun.
tell you, when my boyfriend died, he died of suicide, and his whole family totally embraced me. It was so amazing because we had been together for a while. And so I considered a part of the family.
Sure.
And when he died, nobody knew what to say, right? Nobody knew what to do. And when you talk about suicide, it's like, if only I knew, or all of the what ifs and all of the
why didn't he say something?
all of the things,
yeah,
right. And so his cousin, I will remember this forever because it was so sweet and so helpful and nothing I would have ever asked for. So instead of saying, what do you need, she just showed up to the house with a pedicure kit. And she just said, I'm going to give you a pedicure. And that was it.
Sweet.
And I would have never asked for that. But
No.
How amazing was that? And I still remember that. And that was back in 2009.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I still remember that. And so to me, that was so special because she couldn't fix it.
Right.
But she could help provide some comfort in that moment and community, connection. Like, I'm here, I'm touching you. We need physical touch. And that is so sweet. So I love the idea of groceries and to provide those weeks after.
Yes.
Not in the immediacy, not when you're full of casseroles.
Right.
But weeks after, or.
Yeah, especially because that's when people start, well, they're fine now. They're getting back to life. I don't want to rip that scab off. No, that's when everybody's thinking they don't need anybody anymore.
Right.
So that's when they need, stop by.
Yeah. Well, corporate world gives you 3 days of bereavement if you're lucky. So
if you're lucky, yes.
3 days, get back to work.
Feel better.
Feel better. Funeral's over.
We gave you time off. Yeah.
So anytime we can reach out, and I always say a month after. So
Okay.
A month after, check in. Hey, I know the sun keeps coming up. For me, I remember writing in journals like, here it is, the sun's here again. World is still turning, and yet I feel stuck.
But
I
how?
feel I am still standing still, but the rest of the world is still moving forward. And so if you can be that person who acknowledges, are you still standing still? Are you still whatever it is? I get that, it's hard and I just want to check in on you. And just being honest, there's nothing I can do to fix it, but I want to hear, tell me, are you sleeping? If you're not sleeping, you want me to come over at midnight and we'll watch a movie together?
Oh,
little things like that. Nobody's ever going to ask for that.
No.
Nobody is.
I think that's why it's so hard to say, how can I help? I mean, how can you help?
I don't know.
mean,
How can you?
I don't know. This isn't going away.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Well, Hope Again Counseling.
Yes.
Jessica Frasier, thank you for being here. Hopefully people are going to be ready for your event.
Yes, come.
September 8th.
At 12:30. So come right after church and shop and
at the
mingle.
Arboretum.
At the Arboretum.
Be inspired, connect, meet each other.
Yeah. And then remember my name.
Yes.
And then if you're ever sad, or if you're ever struggling, or if you know somebody who is, or if you just need somebody to do life with and you don't have safe people, let me be that safe person until I can teach you how to find some safe people.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great. And you know what? We get so many transplants here. That's an excellent path to take.
Yes.
People are always looking for new friends, community, how to connect.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for being here today and taking time out of your day.
Thanks. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Good. I'm glad you made it by.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, check out Hope Again Counseling. You can find Jessica on Facebook. You can find her on Instagram. We'll have her links in the show notes so you can go check out her website. If y'all feel like you connect, give her a call, reach out, see if you can come in and talk and connect. And in the meantime, that's What's Up Waco.
Have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.